Hello everybody, and welcome back to more of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dynasty series deck profiles. Today, we're going to be going through Mai Valentine's deck. Yes, Mai Valentine, the semi-finalist. She did do a little cheating in Duelist Kingdom. She was actually putting perfume on her cards, so she knew what she was going to be drawing. But before she got to the semi-finals, she managed to clean up her act, so we're going to give her some slack on that. We've had worse cheaters in this tournament after all. Bandit Keith was this is basically last episode, and that guy was a real cheater. So getting into Mai Valentine, let's take a look at her ace monster, the Harpie's Pet Dragon. This card is the strongest card in her deck, which is not too bad, honestly. 2,000 attack for a 2 tribute monster could be considered bad, but as you can see, it has an effect. It does have a way to buff itself, and it can buff its own defense stat. And its defense stat at 2,500 is not bad at all. It's like a reverse Elemental Hero Neos, you know? It's actually not too bad. Getting into her rare cards are the Elegant Egotist and the Mirror Wall. Elegant Egotist makes her deck super special because it's a card that lets her special summon monsters from her deck. That is an extremely new concept in this series. Now, obviously, we do have cards like the Metal Zoa, Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, that kind of thing that could be summoned that way. But this is way easier and can summon stronger monsters, and it's very, very useful. She also has her Mirror Wall, which is one of the best defensive cards in the game. In the Duelist Kingdom tournament that I am throwing, Mirror Wall may be considered the best card. What it does is whenever your opponent attacks with a monster, that monster loses half of its attack points. Which means it would take a 3,000 attack point monster to tie with a monster with 1,500 attack. That is really, really incredible. The downside of Mirror Wall, in order to keep it on the field, you must pay 2,000 life points during your standby phase. Now, you're not forced to pay, thank God for that, but if you want to keep your life points, you gotta pay 2,000. If you want to keep their attack points low, because they could keep the attack points low onto your next turn so that you could destroy them, but you're gonna have to pay for it. It's gonna cost you some life points. So the other rare cards in her deck, she doesn't really have much, but she does have one legendary card that everybody in Duel Monsters knows about, and everybody in Duel Monsters definitely uses this card. I know it's been off and on the ban list all the freaking time. Here it is, the Harpie's Feather Duster. This is a Mai exclusive card. This is the card she is most well known for. Harpie's Feather Duster is a card that destroys all of your opponent's spells and trap cards. None of yours, all of your opponent's spells and trap cards. It is BUST busted. It's going to be really hard to fight Mai because she's able to clear out your back row. All your equipped spells, your field spells, your traps, all of them gone whenever she draws that card and feels like it. She also has, in this tournament, because her deck literally in the show she did not summon enough, but this is a very old monster that came out around the same time as Harpie Lady. Obviously Harpie Lady is her thing. The Bird Face. I put that in her deck. She has the Bird Face, which is a really good card because when it gets destroyed by battle, you get to search out a Harpie Lady. This is Duelist Kingdom. The only Harpie Lady she has is Vanilla Harpie Lady, which is fine. Completely fine. And it's like, but Cooper, what about Cyber Harpie Lady? Well, guess what? She does have Cyber Shield equipped spell, but she doesn't have Cyber Harpie Lady. I gave her Cyber Shield equipped spell. Good enough, guys. It's good enough. So, getting on to her stats, we're going to start off with the attack stat, and it's pretty ass. Okay. Let's get real. Average attack for Mai Valentine. Her whole deck is focused around the Harpie Ladies. They are 1,300 attack point monsters. The other Winged Beast monsters in her deck average around 1,400 attack. I know Birdface has 16, so that's the reason her attack stat isn't complete ass. But her best monster, her 2 tribute monster, only has 2,000 attack. It is able to gain attack based on the number of Harpie Ladies you have on the field, 300 for each one. But let's be honest, that's not going to be very easy to pull off. So at best, we'll say she can get to 2,300 attack. So her attack stat is pretty ass. And her other boss monster that isn't Harpie's Pet Dragon is the Harpie Lady Sisters at 1950 attack, which is not bad at all. It's actually better than the average. Well, it's actually, 2,000's around the average, but it's better than most people that only have the 1,800 beaters. But it's not really anything to write home about. It's just not very good. So let's get out of the attack stat. It's kind of sad talking about it. Let's get into her defense stat. And that's where Mai Valentine shows off some of her skills, because her defense monsters are actually pretty good. She has Birdface again, that's 1600. The Harpie Lady is only at 14, but that's not bad at all. The Harpie Lady Sisters, when she summons that through Elegant Egotist, is rocking a 2100 defense stat. That can hold back most people's monsters unless they're the higher tribute monsters like Judge Man or, oh god, there's not that many. A single tribute, I guess Summon Skull, but that's like one person. I mean, literally, it would take a real tribute monster to take her out, not one of the weaker ones. So Harpie Lady Sisters is actually pretty good on defense. And of course, the Harpie's Pet Dragon, rocking 2500 defense, and it gains 300 defense for every Harpie Lady on the field. It's actually just a solid wall. Literally, no one's going to break through it. 2500 defense. She'll hold back the Dark Magician if she has to. She'll hold back the Red Eyes Black Dragon if she has to. It won't be a problem. Her defense stat is really solid. I would say very close to perfect. It's just like two bars down. Not even bad. Plus, she runs Mirror Wall, and that's easily going to give her a huge buff to her defense stat. And that's amazing. Yeah, Mirror Wall having the opponent's attack stat, her defense stat's beautiful. Honestly, almost perfect. And speaking of perfect, let's get into her speed stat. Mai Valentine has some of the best support in the game. She runs Birdface for searching Harpie Lady out of her deck and into her hand. That is increasing her speed stat very nicely. She has the Elegant Egotist, which literally lets her special summon from the deck. This is something I've been talking about. The speed stat is all about them special summons, and she can do it. She can bring out Harpie Lady Sisters, a stronger monster. Even if she just needs it for defense or for tribute, she can put it there in defense, and she's able to tribute it. It's so good. Elegant Egotist speeds her up, and if she runs 3, so say she only has 1 Harpie Lady on the field, Elegant Egotist, she could summon 4 monsters in 1 turn. Who else can do that? Very few people. No one. Honestly, I don't think anyone can. There's a reason she has the perfect speed stat. I don't think anyone in this series can get as many monsters on the field in such a short time. And thanks to her search potential from Birdface, Elegant Egotist's search, freaking Harpie Ladies comboing, I mean, she's got the highest speed stat, guys. It's just perfect. Literally perfect. So a special summon from the deck is great. Back in the day, this is like the rarest thing you're ever going to see. I know Metal Morph with the Metal Morphing Monster can make Metal Zo, Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, but those cards are awful. Elegant Egotist is actually good, and it just got better with time. So now it's time to get into her brick stats, and that is Little Brick. Not too much. Not too much. The reason she has Little Brick is because she actually runs kind of a... her equipped spell, the Cyber Shield, is kind of a double-edged sword. Since it only specifically works with Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters, it kind of, if she just gets one of her regular winged beast monsters, like, I don't know, Takahi or something, it's not going to be helpful. An Elegant Egotist is another one that you have to have a Harpie Lady on the field. And if you don't have one of her 3 Harpie Ladies on the field, then she's not going to be able to use these. They're just breaking up her hand. Harpie's Pet Dragon, she has multiple. She didn't really have many monsters, so I had to add extra monsters, so... yeah, that's going to be contributing to the brick. Yeah, that's pretty much why. She's not even that brickable. Literally, it's just a little brick. It's only a little brick because the Elegant Egotist and the Cyber Shields are so specifically only for Harpie Lady. Okay? And Harpie Lady Sisters for Cyber Shield, but still. Since they really just need Harpie Lady and she only has 3 of those in her deck, obviously it's going to give her a little brick. The person that gets her is still going to be fine. Speaking of which, let's get into her potential. Mai Valentine, the potential of the person that ends up getting her as the character deck is 3. That's not bad at all. It's literally perfect. She made it to semifinals of Duelist Kingdom for a reason. She has 3 potential, which is above average, and the reason for that is this. The reason it's above average is because she is so quick at getting her monsters, thinning out her deck, special summoning, searching the deck, and just blowing up their opponent's field. Because the opponent, it's going to take them some time to get multiple monsters out. It's going to take them some time. If they don't run high defense monsters, then she's just going to blow right through them with her Harpie Lady Sisters. But because her attack stat is so low, if she runs into somebody that actually has a 2,000 defense point monster, she's going to fall apart. Luckily, she has the mirror wall, which is another reason why I gave her 3 stars, but she will fall apart. And the other reason for her 3 stars is the Harpie's Feather Duster, because that card just clears fields. So that's really good. But that's going to be it for Mai Valentine. To any of my friends that get her, I think they're going to have a good time. I think, looking at her, she is the superior of Yu-Gi-Oh people. If she was a Pokemon, she'd be superior. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.